Coming up this week, how to live longer and healthier with my book of the month for March. Hey everybody, I'm Kalymnios here from theThoughtGym.com, here helping you become that superhuman leader that I know that you can be, giving you everything that you need in order for that to happen. And this week, this video, I'm going to share with you my book of the month, and it is this book. It is called The Telomere Effect. The Telomere Effect by Dr. Elizabeth Blackburn, PhD, and Elizabeth Elpool, PhD. I'm going to explain what it's all about in a second. Living younger, healthier, and longer. Firstly, I've got to explain to you what a telomere is, because it's all about the telomere effect. I first heard about telomeres around 5 years ago, and I was fascinated by them. Telomeres are effectively protective caps at the end of your chromosomes. Chromosome is all your DNA enshrined into almost like a shoelace. And if you imagine at the end of the shoelace, the aglet, as it's called, the little plastic bit that stops the shoelace from fraying, that is effectively a telomere. It protects our chromosomes. We have different length telomeres, each of us generally, and it is dependent on a number of things. Now, Elizabeth Blackburn, one of the authors of this book, is actually in fact a Nobel Prize winner. She won the Nobel Prize in 2009 for her discovery of an enzyme called telomerase. Telomerase builds telomeres, the protective bits at the end of the chromosomes. As we age, a natural consequence of aging is that these telomeres become shorter and shorter until the cell eventually dies. This is part of our natural aging process. What they are talking about in this book is ways in which you can in fact stop or potentially reverse that process. It's not going to be that like it's an elixir for life beyond our wildest imaginations, but generally speaking, if you have healthy telomeres, you should be able to go to 120, no problem. That's 120 years old is what they're postulating here. I personally believe that with various other advances, you can go beyond that. But the thing is that what's happening right now is we think of aging as that person at 40, 50, 60 looks like they do. What they're actually doing is having accelerated aging. There are many things that we do from our lifestyle perspective that influence this telomere length. In fact, the overriding consensus by leading researchers, academics, Nobel Prize winners is that probably a small fraction, we're talking 5–10% of things are genetically influenced, and most are in fact like lifestyle driven. The way I like to explain it in my talks is, imagine you get your smartphone, we come pre-installed with various apps. Some of those apps, like the calculator, you might never use, or you might always use it, or there might be some other pre-installed app on your Android or iOS phone, and that is effectively our gene pool. We have preloaded with certain predisposition for various gene activity. We, the environment, the person pressing the buttons, is going to dictate whether those things are turned on or off. And we have a huge influence on that. And this book details all these things, from your lifestyle practices like yoga. I was teaching yoga earlier today, in fact, to a huge cohort, 50 people or so in a Lululemon store in London. It was great fun. But things like yoga and relaxation and stress management and eating the right foods, all of these things have an influence on our telomere length. This isn't hokey pokey stuff, this is actual science. I do recommend picking up a copy of this book. It's going to give you a lot more detail, but for now, realize that you have a level of control over the rate at which you age. It's not to say you will go on living forever and ever and ever, but what we're talking about here is living longer, but more importantly, healthier. So we're not talking just about lifespan here, we're talking about a health span. Okay, so we want to make sure that any maybe possible illnesses, diseases of aging that might occur happen in the kind of tiniest fraction of the end of our lives. Not the last 20, 30 years. You know, you get to 50 or 60, you're going to live to 80, 90, but you're not feeling great that whole time. Nobody wants that. We want to be going to 120, where maybe, you know, from about 119 onwards that you're not feeling so great. That's what we're really after. That's what this book will help with. Do recommend getting a copy of it. She espouses all the things that I talk about in my beat model, my leadership beat model, which is all about health, longevity, vitality, energy. I'll link to a quick snippet of it here, and you can find out more about that. But it's all the same stuff. It's not rocket science, okay? all the experts I look at, whether they're looking at telomere length, or they're looking at heart disease, or they're looking at cancer, or they're looking at weight loss, or they're looking at anything that's beneficial for the health, there's so many commonalities, it's untrue. All of those commonalities are put into my beat model, and you can find out what they are all about there. And I personally am in the midst of writing another book all around that beat model, so hopefully this time next year I'll be recommending my book instead of just these ones from other authors. That being said, this is a fantastic book. Grab yourself a copy, let me know what you think, and I will speak to you very soon. Until next time, remember to subscribe, stay strong, stay super. Bye bye.